Good evening, everybody, and welcome here for race number 22 of Season 3 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. 5 races remain until we will know the 16 drivers battling it out for the Duracell Cup Series Championship in the playoffs. And it's nighttime racing at the Paperclip Short Track of Martinsville. Going to get ready here for the SDP 500, 75 laps of racing here tonight. Typical short tracks where track position always seems to come into play. You qualify well, you got better odds that you're going to finish well, and on your front row you've got rookie Phil Parker, and to his outside Benny Watson. Now Phil Parker comes into this race currently 27th in points. Last week at Kentucky, he was on the 30th in standings cut line. He's trying to become the 4th rookie to go to victory lane this season. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight. Alongside of him, Benny Watson, who comes into this race now 4th in the standings, and this is a guy who about 5 weeks ago was up leading the points. It's been a bit of a bumpy road last 2 or 3 weeks or so for Benny Watson, who is still looking for a victory to get himself into this season's playoffs. Now, we should mention as well that Martinsville 1 year ago was the place where Ryan Acosta picked up his first win of that season. He eventually went on to become the Duracell Cup Series champion for Season 2. Will we see tonight's race winner in the future be the Season 3 Duracell Cup Series champion? Only time will tell. It's also interesting as well, I was looking back and didn't actually realize until just before coming on the air here that Joanna Atwood Motorsports has won this race for the past 2 years. James Qualls, back when Joanna Atwood Motorsports was a Ford Mustang team, took his first career checkered flag here at Martinsville in Season 1, and of course 1 year ago, after Joanna Atwood Motorsports moved over to Toyotas, it was Ryan Acosta taking the checkered flag. And bear in mind, Ryan Acosta was actually part of the Joanna Atwood Motorsports team back when they ran Fords in Season 1 when he drove the number 10 Slim Jim Ford Mustang. So, you know, that might be good news for guys like Nathan Ormond as well as J Gardner. We might see one of them maybe take a checkered flag. Qualls and Acosta trying to win here at Martinsville for the second time in their career. And let's bear in mind, Nathan Ormond, a former winner this season, his win, it came at a short track. Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports, and get racing here tonight at Martinsville.
Drivers, start your engines!
So as the command is given, Jack Mitchell is your overall points leader coming into this one. 34 points over William Brock, and Mitchell's going to roll off from the 5th position here this evening. Brock's going to roll off from 14th. Zach Rogers comes into this race currently 3rd in points. 4th is Benny Watson, Cody Lamas in 5th. Then it's Patrick Smith in 6th, Austin LaPlante 7th, Dylan Young, 3-time winner in 8th, Matt Haas, last week's winner in 9th, and Austin Kolano in 10th. I remember last week I was trying to figure out where Matt Haas had his first career victory last season. It was at the Chicago Motor Speedway, and it actually was during the second half of the regular season. He now has a win this season, trying to make it into the playoffs, and obviously up there in the top 10 with a win. Very good chance that that is going to be the case. Green flags in the air. Let's roll at Martinsville. Phil Parker on that inside line trying to clear for the top spot. Looks like he has succeeded. He moves up, gets a little bit higher entry into turn 3. Battle will now be for second place between Benny Watson and Adam Garcia. Garcia's best finish of the season. Runner-up finish to his teammate Dylan Young. That was back at Pikes Peak. Garcia and A Almariego, the only 2 drivers still that have run every single Duracell Cup Series race, still looking for their first career win, and Garcia is going to clear Watson, move him to the 2nd position. Oh, and maybe not! Little contact there between the 12 and the 75. Garcia nearly spun it around. Watson almost went up into the wall. They now do settle it out as Mitchell looks to the inside of Kolano. That is for 4th. Kolano, last week finishing runner-up to Matt Haas at Kentucky. Kolano up in the top 10 in points as well, 10th in the standings. He is, I believe, the 2nd highest running rookie in the points. And now, you know, remember back a few weeks ago we were talking about Patrick Smith, Cole Deaver as far as the rookie points battle? It's now between Patrick Smith and Austin Kolano. 10-point separation between the 77 and the 81 in the current points for rookie class. Phil Parker has checked out, at least for the moment. Benny Watson trying to close back up on the bumper of Adam Garcia. Mitchell cleared for 4th. Kolano 5th. Matthew Rodriguez there in 5th place. Rodriguez, who almost took a checkered flag back at, I think it was Chicago Motor Speedway, but got involved in a pit road issue. Lost a number of spots on pit lane during green flag pit stops. Actually, he got involved in a wreck on pit road with J Llamas. Right now in the 6th position, and Charles Sandfer currently in 7th. 3 drivers are down near or below that cut line coming into this race. N Ormond, our Bristol winner, he is right on the cut line in 30th. Charles Sandfer and Carson Gum still below the cut line, but they made up a little bit of ground last week. Carson Gum gained a spot in the standings. Charles Sandfer gained 2. Right now, coming to this race, Carson Gum is a total of 25 points behind the cut line. Charles Sandfer is a total of 32 points behind the cut line. Still manageable, especially if Charles, with where he's running right now, can finish out inside the top 10. Still has a couple of races, 4 races after this, to be able to pop up inside of the top 30, try and take a playoff spot. It's the closest battle on track right now, and it is for the 4th position. Jack Mitchell, the overall points leader. Austin Kolano, 2nd in the rookie points. And caution is out for the first time on lap 10. Everybody's going to hit pit road here, too. That's interesting. Well, it might have been J Llamas that brought out this caution. He is currently running in dead last, but I don't see anybody back here with damage. Ryan Brommer, Carson Gum, Cole Baker, J Qualls, former winner at Martinsville back here. So it's hard to tell who exactly it was that brought this yellow flag out. So as Phil Parker and the rest of the field make their pit stops here under the first caution of the night, let's go back and take a look at a replay. A couple of former winners getting together here. Around the 16th position, our Texas winner Ryan Brommer gets a little help from our New Hampshire winner Jordan Lopez. You see right there, looks like Brommer checked up a little more into the corner than Lopez was expecting. Gets him right on the right side of the rear bumper. It's enough to turn him around. Everybody, I think, was able to avoid. Ooh, M Saatchi, close call there. I mean, he finished dead last week at Kentucky, so certainly did not want to suffer another DNF here 1 week later. And J Llamas riding the wall there around turns 1 and 2. I don't know if he maybe got a little help in that corner, maybe got bumped by Carson Gum or what, but no damage really for him. So yeah, that little bit of rear end damage, I thought I saw rear end damage on the back of the 9, but I wasn't sure, and that is what brings out the caution. Ryan Brommer, Jordan Lopez, first caution of the night, sets us up for a restart here at Martinsville. Well, I thought everyone hit pit road. I was wrong. One driver stays out, gains a lot of track position because of it, and that is J Gardner in the 14. Now, obviously, if this thing goes into a long green flag run, he's going to be about 10 laps shorter on fuel than everyone else, but he has at least got good starting track position now with staying out. He'll lead over Phil Parker, Jack Mitchell, Matthew Rodriguez, Austin Kolano. That's your top 5. Adam Garcia lost a lot of positions. He's back to 6th. V Almariego 7th. J Millz, Carter Friesen, and Benny Watson there in 10th. Both Garcia and Watson lost a lot of spots on pit road. And caution is out again. We might have had a stack up here on the restart. And it looks like it may have involved the Season 1 winner, J Qualls in the 54 with some front-end damage. Also see some rear-end damage on his teammate N Ormond in the 41. Michael Norman with a buckle on the hood of his number 18. Something says to me there was a stack up on that restart. And I wonder if J Gardner is now going to take the opportunity here to come to pit road. And why are they stopping? Oh, this is not good. They got to get rolling. Otherwise, someone's going to accidentally get teleported to pit road. Okay, looks like we're good. I wonder if someone got stuck on the grass. I want to cycle here around just to make sure everybody's still okay, and I think they are. Gardner did not come to pit road, so he is staying out. Let's go back and see what happened. Yeah, this was, I think, the restart right here, and everybody just kind of all tried to jump the start. And Qualls runs into the back of Nathan Ormond, who then I think ran into the back of Michael Norman, and that's why they threw the caution. I'm not sure we even got back green. Yeah, I guess we did. But, might be something we'll have to keep an eye on here on future restarts, because that was maybe a wreck that shouldn't have happened. Alright, so pace car is going to peel off onto pit road yet again. Green flag will come out on lap 20 of 75. Let's see if they can actually get a good, decent restart this time and not wreck. Gardner's still the leader over Phil Parker and Jack Mitchell. Green flag in the air. Looking to see if the caution lights come on. Looks like we might be okay. Let me see about the caution light over here in turn 2. Nope, they made it. We're still green. Alright. Battle is on for third now. Matthew Rodriguez to the inside of Jack Mitchell. Rodriguez was laying down some of the faster lap times there on that first run. Easily makes quick work of the McDonald's Chevrolet and now sets his sights on Phil Parker. Kolano now with Mitchell stuck on that top side. He's going to try and move by for fourth. Adam Garcia, Vince Almariego, J Millz all back in this group as well, trying to work their way up into the top 5. As Kolano will clear the 0-1 for fourth place. Really interested about this strategy on the part of Johnny Gardner. Staying out, everybody else came to pit road, so Gardner is about 10 laps shorter on fuel than everybody else will be. Don't know, can you make it the full 75 laps on one tank of fuel? It's a short track and you use an awful lot more brake than you do throttle. So is it possible for Gardner to save? He'd love to make it 3 for 3, and Joanna Atwood Motorsports drivers go into victory lane. It would be 3 different drivers if he were able to pull it off. Remember, Gardner's last win was at a concrete track last season, and that was Dover, and the caution is out again. R Brommer, they were just about to lap him, but I don't think he was the reason for the yellow. Looks like it might have been the 22 of Mitchell Collins, and there might have been a little bit of help from the 48 of two-time winner Austin LaPlante. Cody Llamas also with some rear-end damage there as well. Don't know if he was caught up in the incident or not. Third of the way through and already working our third caution of the night, and these caution laps are only helping Johnny Gardner, because all these caution laps he's able to pace are more laps he's able to save fuel. Let's go back and see what happened. Third caution of the night at Martinsville. And we're going to see a lot of this tonight. We saw it already with Lopes and Brommer. This time it is Collins and LaPlante. The use of the chrome horn, moving someone out of the way. Sometimes patience runs out. And LaPlante wanted to get by Collins for what was the 34th position. So even there towards the back of the pack, drivers still want to make passes, and they're willing to move someone out of the way to do it. And apparently those were the only 2 cars that really were involved, and that was enough to bring out the caution. So third caution of the night sets us up for another restart here. We are now a third of the way through this Martinsville race. Well, this is the first time we're going to have a restart with lap traffic. Both Cody Llamas and Ryan Brommer are -1 to the race leader, Johnny Gardner. All 40 cars are still running on the track, however. It's going to be Gardner, Parker, Rodriguez, Kolano, and Garcia. That is going to be your top 5 as the green flag back in the air, and Gardner was on it. He pulls away from the lap traffic easily. Phil Parker going to have a little bit more of an issue on his hands here as he's mired back on the outside line of Cody Llamas. So Johnny Gardner going to try and open up as much distance as he can. Llamas is actually going to clear Phil Parker. So there's now a lap machine between Gardner and Parker for the top position. Ryan Brommer holding up these guys, which leads to this battle for third between Kolano and Rodriguez. Kolano may win out here as he will now maybe get to the inside of the 9. He was looking, couldn't quite do it. So car on pit road, I believe that was the 54 of J Qualls is going to fall off the lead lap. William Brock just now on pit lane as well, now leaving. So issues for the 88. Just saw Adam Garcia make a pass on Vince Almariego, moving him up to the 5th position. And how about Zach Rogers? Now having to deal with the lap car of William Brock, but Rogers currently up to the, I believe that's the 8th position in the 6 car. Good run for him. Ooh, there was some contact back here. 3 wide. Caution's out, but there was 3 wide there with Batson, Friesen, and Watson. And the caution's going to come out for the 4th time tonight, and it looks like Mitchell Collins has run into more trouble. So, 4th caution of the night. Cautions breeding cautions. Short tracks, short tempers. I wonder if the 48 was anywhere around the 22 on this one. Let's find out. This one's actually going to start with the 28 of Trey Wright. This might be a 3-wide situation going down here into turn 1. Well, almost. Jesse Turner had Jessica Shelton to his inside, and he just drove it deep into the corner and straight into the back bumper of Trey Wright. M Saatchi nowhere to go in the 21 car, and then here comes Collins, already involved in an incident tonight, and right there, shot right to the rear. The whole front end of the Sunny D Ford Mustang completely crunched up, and that might take Mitchell Collins out of this race. 4th caution of the night here, nearing the halfway point at Martinsville. And you know, it may not have been possible to go 75 full laps on 1 tank of fuel, but no doubt about it, all these cautions are helping the 14 of J Gardner. I mean, that was a tremendous call to keep him out there when everybody came to pit road on lap 10. And these cautions definitely helping him keep this track position. And it was also helping him to have these lap cars on the inside. You've got Llamas and Brommer still. You now have William Brock and James Qualls there as well. We do have our first 2 retirees out of the race. Mitchell Collins will finish 40th, Marcus Saatchi in 39th. Boy, that is a tough break for Marcus Saatchi, who has suffered back-to-back DNFs now in the last 2 weeks. Dead last week at Kentucky, and now 39th here tonight at Martinsville. And let's not forget, he's a former winner this season at Dover rather, and he came into this race in the 25th position in points, dropped 7 spots in the standings after Kentucky last week, so I'd be a little bit worried about the momentum of that 21 team closing in on the playoffs. Cody Llamas again managed to clear Phil Parker, and now Parker's having to deal with another lap car to his inside. That's the 9 of Ryan Brommer. William Brock waiting to see which line opens up. Here's the battle for 3rd. Kolano and the 57 of Matthew Rodriguez battling around the lap machine of James Qualls. Kolano's going to clear for the spot. Rodriguez with Qualls to the inside. That opens up the door. J Millz is going to stick his foot in. That's going to be a side-by-side battle for 4th place. Ryan Butcher into this mix now in the 78. Garcia, Friesen, Zach Rogers there as well. As J Millz is going to work his way up into the top 5 and now into the top 4. Looks like he may clear Rodriguez for the spot off of turn 2. Not quite. Rodriguez still to his right rear quarter panel, trying to battle on that top side. So we move a little bit further up. Phil Parker has 2 lap machines right now. Cody Llamas and Ryan Brommer between himself and the race leader, J Gardner. 1 lap car separating him back to 3rd place, Austin Kolano. Oh, and we almost had a wreck back there. Ryan Butcher might have almost gotten into Matthew Rodriguez as he, Carter, Friesen, and Rodriguez are all mixing it up for what would be, right now, the 5th position. And Friesen's going to move up into the top 5. Carter Friesen, who took a checkered flag earlier on this season at Atlanta. Right now coming into this race in the 24th position in points. Right now he and Saatchi are 2 guys that are down within the vicinity of 30th in the stands and both need good runs. Well, we know that Saatchi's not going to get a good run tonight, but Carter Friesen right now in line for a good performance. Up here at the front, not really much of anything going on, with the exception of J Gardner just checking out. Now about a 2.5 seconds between himself and Phil Parker. And as we mentioned, 2 lap cars. This might be the point in time now, having all those early cautions, that Gardner does not want to see a yellow if he is good to go on fuel, because he would love to keep this interval between himself and the 74. Now, one thing we should talk about here, if Gardner does take the checkers here tonight, he came into this race 37th in points, so he is going to have to work hard in the next 4 weeks to get himself up into the top 30 in points. See if any battling's going on here for position inside the top 10, and this is the best one right now. That is a battle for the 9th position. Benny Watson taking it away from Adam Garcia, and then you got a couple of S3 Motorsports cars behind him. Charles Sandfer just moved into the 10th spot, and we got a car up in the wall back there. I don't think we're under caution, but that, I believe, was R Macklin in the 93 up in the wall, and we are under caution. Yellow flag is out. I heard the wrecking, but I could not tell if we had a caution or not. Yellow flag is out. And Gardner has to pit. He couldn't make it. Trey Wright's on pit road. Dylan Young's got damage. That's going to turn the race lead over to Phil Parker. We'll see if Phil's going to be able to make it now. If Gardner has to pit at this point, he was only 10 laps shorter than these other guys. Well, R Macklin was involved in this, but so too was 3-time winner Dylan Young. Macklin's going to run Dylan Young over there going into turn 1. Spins the 2 around. That's why we saw the 93 up and into the wall coming out of turn 2. And Dylan Young is another guy that last couple of weeks, even though he's got those 3 wins in the bank, nowhere for Trey Wright in the 28 to go. That's why he was on pit road after a hard shot with the front end of his Ford. But Dylan Young, even though he's got those 3 wins in the bank, his momentum has not been that great the last couple of weeks. So, he's obviously right now in the number 1 seed for the playoffs, but what kind of momentum is he going to have for the postseason? The Ironman Ford Mustang, after contact from rookie R Macklin, brings out I believe it's our 5th caution of the night here at Martinsville. Well, this is going to be an even more interesting restart than the other ones we've had previously, because Cody Lamas and Ryan Brommer, with Johnny Gardner coming to pit road, they are technically ahead of the leader on the tail end of the lead lap, so they get to restart on the outside line. You've got William Brock, James Qualls, and Trey Wright down there on the inside line, so race leader Phil Parker is literally going to be boxed in on this restart. This is going to be a hairy situation as the green flag is back in the air with a little less than 25 laps to go. Kolano lines up in second, and here comes J Millz to the bottom for second, maybe for the race lead. Matthew Rodriguez back there, drives it in deep 3 wide, puts Carter Friesen way up to the top. That's a battle for the 3rd position. I'm sorry, for 4th rather. Somehow they were able to split the 28. And here's your race lead battle right here. Millz clears Phil Parker for the top position. Now remember, we went back green with about 23 laps to go. Gardner couldn't make it on fuel, and all these guys came to pit road about 10 laps sooner than Gardner did. So are these guys good to go on fuel or not? Right now, Qualls is praying for a caution. That'd get him back in the lead lap. Same for Brock, same for Lamas. Brommer right now trying to battle to keep his hopes alive to get back on the lead lap, as right now Jesse Turner and Trey Wright are the only 2 cars currently scored a lap down. Brommer now is a lap down as Millz has him cleared by about half a car length. And Kolano may have just moved Rodriguez out of the way. That's a battle for 3rd again. Millz still trying to get by Ryan Brommer. No success right now. And with Johnny Gardner having to come to pit road, there's the 14 right now mired back in the 28th position. He's hoping this goes green to the end, because if these guys can't make it on fuel, he may be sitting in the catbird seat. Saw J Millz down there with his left sides on that rumble strip between the concrete and the grass. So he was trying to get around Ryan Brommer, now succeeded in doing so. Phil Parker in second is going to get by the lap car as well. Ooh, little contact maybe there between himself and Brommer. Kolano trying to clear Rodriguez for 3rd. I think he may have just succeeded in doing so. Maybe not. Rodriguez going to cross down under, try and block Carter Friesen. No, we got boxed in behind Ryan Brommer. Friesen may have a run on him here into turn 1 for 4th place. And he will. Still green up to this point. Will we go green to the checkers? And if we do, are these guys good to go on fuel? I mean, if Gardner had to come to pit road back on lap 45, these guys are probably going to have to pit somewhere in the next 10 laps. Unless they were able to save fuel under these cautions we've had, but I don't know. Friesen now has cleared Rodriguez. Move him into 4th. Rodriguez back to 5th. Ryan Butcher currently in 6th. And then you got a good battle for 7th. That's Charles Sandfer and Jack Mitchell. Battle for 9th between Garcia and Watson. And K Mathews right back there just outside the top 10 and 11th. Ooh, little contact there as Watson got sent up the track. Contact with Adam Garcia, and he's going to brush the wall as well. And there's last week's winner, M Haas, quietly been riding just outside of the top 10, right now in the 13th position. Jordan Lopez rubbing doors with Patrick Smith, the rookie points leader. It's a battle for the 14th position. N Hudson right behind this group. I don't know, the way they're racing right now, I don't think we've seen our last yellow. They're going to be 3 wide here in a battle for 13th going into turn 3. And they are going to make it work, somehow. 3 wide at Martinsville, and it works. What craziness is this? Meanwhile, back up at the front, 0.6 of a second is the separation between J Millz, Phil Parker. Then not too far back, you got 3rd place running Kolano, 4th place running C Friesen. Nearing 10 laps to go. J Millz took the checkered flag at the Pensacola Road Course on fuel strategy earlier on this year. Looking for his 2nd win of the season. Joining Jacob Thibodeaux, Austin LaPlante, and Dylan Young as a multi-time winner this season. And of course, J Millz knows an awful lot about being a multi-time winner. He was a 4-time winner back in season 1, a 3-time winner last season in season 2. He's the all-time winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series and trying to add another notch to that resume. Phil Parker, who started on the pole for this race, has been up in the top 5 all night long, trying to close out the deal coast to coast, pole to win, trying to become the 4th different rookie to win this season, and trying to, more importantly, get Lake Effect Autosport their 1st win of the season. Neither he nor Jesse Turner have been to victory lane so far. 10 laps to go, J Millz hitting the line. Question is fuel, though they have enough to make it. And if we get a late race caution, that could certainly shuffle things up as well. Top 5 are all clear of lap traffic, back to Matthew Rodriguez. Then you got the lap car of R Brommer between 6th and 7th place there. That's Ryan Butcher and Charles Sandfer. So right now it's really the top 5 that are within striking distance of each other here in the closing stages. Millz has not been able to really reel in J Qualls, who was the last car on the lead lap in 35th. He's hoping for a caution. So it looks like if Millz is going to be caught, Parker's going to have to do it on his own. And right now, Parker's looking more in his rearview mirror than out the windshield because Kolano has reeled him in for 2nd. Kolano's running about 1/10 faster each lap than Phil Parker. He's actually running 1/10 faster each lap than the race leader J Millz. Has Kolano got something for the top 2? Remember, he finished runner-up 1 week ago to M Haas. Bridesmaid last week. He wants to be the bride this week. This next time around will be 6 laps to go. Still wondering about these drivers being able to make it on fuel. J Gardner did not come to pit road when everybody else pitted on lap 10. And he had to come to pit lane, I think it was on lap 45. These drivers have been able to make it a lot further than I expected they were going to, just based off how far Gardner could go. See if they can make it another 5 laps. That was an exchange right there for 3rd place. C Friesen getting by Austin Kolano. And almost just got moved out of the way by Kolano there into turn 1. As now Kolano will fight with Rodriguez for 4th. Laps ticking away quickly here at Martinsville. That's typical of the short track. As Millz now sees 4 laps remaining. Parker has closed the gap up. It's now about half a second. He ran a faster lap time that time around. 3:30 for Millz, a 2:96 for Parker. Those laps in the 20-second lap times. But time's running out. 3 laps remaining for Phil Parker, who that time ran slower than J Millz. And C Friesen ran faster than the both of them. He's about to maybe try and take a position away as Kolano is up into the wall. Might have had some contact there from Ryan Butcher. Butcher got around him. Sandfer's trying to get around him now. Kolano is dropping back like a stone. Actually, I think he and Matthew Rodriguez might have gotten together. 57 is all the way back here now. I think he might have just dropped outside the top 10. Caution! Caution's out! Caution is out with 2 to go. This could be race over. Race will end under yellow. And any drivers that were going to be close on fuel, I think this just seal the deal for them to be able to make it the rest of the way, because right here, J Millz is about to see the white flag and just has to make it around the track one more time, and he could probably coast if he needed to. Hard to tell who would have brought that yellow flag out. May have to rely on our NSRA split cam to show us here. If that's the case, you guys are seeing it right now. But J Millz, 11th in the points coming into this race. He's looking to pick up his second win of the season. I believe this will be his 9th Duracell Cup Series win overall. J Millz has made the playoffs the last 2 seasons. And both seasons he has failed to capitalize on winning the championship. But tonight, he's going to solidify himself yet again in the playoffs, his second win of the season. It'll take place here tonight at Martinsville as the AIK9.com Ford Mustang crosses the line and wins the STP 500 at Martinsville Speedway. So J Millz becomes the 4th multi-time winner on the season, joining Dylan Young, Austin LaPlante, and Jacob Thibodeaux. And we got a car stopped on the track there. A couple cars stopped. That's James Qualls and William Brock. That caution came out a little too late for them. They would have been back on the tail end of the lead lap and maybe been able to pick up some last-minute spots on track if we had had a caution earlier than that, but that was not the case. And J Millz, I mean, let's go back to the race-winning move. He used the traffic when Phil Parker was boxed in behind drivers on the tail end of the lead lap and lap down cars. He utilized that traffic to be able to move his way by and take the checkered flag. Let's take a look here at the finishing results for tonight's race. J Millz, that is the 4th win of the season for Blue Oval Automotive, 2nd win of the season for the 98 team. Parker ends up 2nd after starting on the pole. Carter Friesen did a great job of working his way through the field up to 3rd. Ryan Butcher 4th, and Charles Sandford will finish in 5th. We'll have to see where this situates him as he's trying to get back up in the top 30 in points. Our ISM winner, Kolano, with back-to-back top 10 runs, although he had a little bit of an incident there with Matthew Rodriguez, I think. That's what dropped him back outside the top 5. He gets 6th, though. Adam Garcia 7th. Kyle Mathews brings it home in 8th. Jack Mitchell there in 9th as he will continue to grow his points lead. Vince Almariego finishes the day out in 10th. Rest of the drivers were Benny Watson, Jordan Lopez, Nathan Hudson. Rodriguez fell back to 14th. Matt Haas in 15th. Rest of your top 20, Smith, Thibodeaux, McIntyre, Belding, and Rogers. Here's the rest of your finishing results as you see 2 drivers out of the race, Saatchi and Collins. That is going to do it for our coverage here tonight from Martinsville. If you guys enjoyed this race, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. Be sure to full feature results, and these are your points. And next week, it's road course racing in upstate New York as we will be at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, and that could definitely be a fuel strategy race. The road course ringers are going to try and rise to the top there, and hope you will join us for that. So until next week, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching the production of the NSRA Offline Racing at its Best. J Millz takes the checkers at the Paperclip Martinsville.